I had been waiting in line at Costco for 20 minutes. The next checkout lane opened up and the cashier said, "Next person in line!" I was the next person in line, so I rushed over, relieved that I was finally getting on my way. In my peripheral vision, I noticed a lady walking up and I had the sense to let her go first, but I didn't. Loading my food on the belt, I began to feel hot and bothered all over. Self-justifying thoughts and feelings filled me. I was next in line and I have waited 20 minutes already. She was trying to cut in line in front of me. I noticed she was bad-mouthing me to everyone around. She said the cashier looked at me when she said next in line and this lady cut in front of me. I felt like I had a scarlet letter on me broadcasting to the world that I had committed the unforgivable sin by cutting in line. I was feeling more and more hot, like I had a fever, and I couldn't get out of Costco quickly enough. This incident bothered me all the way home and all night long as I replayed how horribly she mistreated me. When I don't do what I sense I should do, I stop caring about people and I betray myself. This betrayal wasn't a betrayal of someone else's sense of right, or a betrayal of cultural or religious expectation, but a betrayal of my own moral sensibility. In this experience at the checkout line, did I betray myself?
Yes. You had the sense to let the lady go ahead of you, but you pushed ahead to be first.
Good. Now when I betray myself, I am driven to justify myself, to make the wrong of not doing what I sense I should do appear right. I see others and myself in non-caring ways that justify myself. Did I see this lady in a caring way?
No.
How did I see her?
You saw her like she didn't matter, and you pushed right ahead of her. You saw her as inconsiderate, vicious, as unjustly attacking you, as causing the problem, definitely as an obstacle to what you were trying to do.
And how did I see myself?
You saw yourself as the innocent victim, but then you began shaming yourself and thinking and feeling that you might be causing the problem, but couldn't fix it.
How did I feel?
You felt like you were being attacked. You felt hopeless. You couldn't figure out what to do. You couldn't see any solutions.
The only option you saw was to exit Costco as quickly as possible. But that didn't solve the problem.
You felt fussed and bothered the entire night, replaying how horribly the lady had mistreated you and how horrible you felt.
So who was I focused on?
You were absorbed in yourself.
So was I feeling and seeing others and myself in a self-justifying way?
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
It was as if I built walls around me, separating myself from others, distorting my seeing, feeling, and thinking about other people and myself. I became stuck in the box of self-betrayal, driven by justification. I gave up my happiness in order to be justified for not following through on my sense of how I should have treated this lady. So what was the purpose that I devised and hung on to that was more important at that moment than my happiness?
Justification.
So when do we need to justify ourselves?
When we don't do what we feel we should do.
Yes, that is the most important point to understand. Whenever we are grasping for justification, that is a sure sign that we are betraying ourselves. Now let's compare living false to our moral sensitivity and living true to it. Here is the end of the story. The next week, the exact same situation occurred, but this time I noticed my sense of what to do and I stopped moving forward and allowed the other lady to move ahead of me. There was no fuss, no hot fever, no wasted energy of wallowing in self-justifying thoughts and feelings. I just had a sense to let her go ahead of me, and I honored that sense, and I felt at peace. It cost me maybe 3-5 more minutes of extra time in Costco, but it kept my heart at peace, and I was able to be productive with the rest of my time that day. Did I betray myself here?
No. You had the sense to let the other lady go first, and you acted on that sense.
How did I see the lady?
You saw her as mattering, like you matter. And in this case, you felt that she should go ahead of you.
How did I see myself?
You saw yourself as living true to your sense of what was right in the moment.
And how did I feel?
You felt at peace with yourself and the lady.
Who was I focused on?
Her and what was best for both of you.
Did I feel the need to justify myself?
No.
Why didn't I need to justify myself?
Because you didn't do anything you felt was wrong.
As we have seen, when we live true to our caring sense of how we should see and treat others and ourselves, we feel at peace and find solutions and move forward in happiness. When we betray that sense, we start a cascade of consequences that create problems and divisions among people and create troubling emotions. So, we have seen that when we don't do what we sense we should, we betray ourselves.